So let me just check to make sure that we're streaming. Yes, we are. Okay, great. Right, good. To us. Welcome. My name is Brian Knight and I live near Melbourne in Australia. And it's just turned 5:30 in the morning on a Monday for me. For Tom, it will be his Sunday. And from all the people in the UK, it'll be Sunday evening there. So, and the Forex market is going to open up in about an hour and a half. And it opens up into the Sydney session. Right, let me just go through this first. Just share screen. So welcome to this live Forex analysis session. Please note any trades discussed here are to be classed purely as educational only, and that's because we're a group of people helping each other and we are not financial advisors. So please only take trades you're happy to take based on your own analysis. I always suggest a demo account until you can prove to yourself that you are profitable. Why would you not? Anyway, always follow proper risk management to protect your account as taught in IM Academy and the Ninja Group, as each trade carries risk as well as potential profit. So what that means is this strategy and straightforward Forex strategy within the group is only asking for a maximum of 1% per trade on any particular pair. So if the recording of the session goes anywhere and you're not already part of our group, please get back to the person who referred you. And as an exclusive member, I have access to Go Live, where there are a number of traders that trade this strategy and other profitable strategies as well, if you want to choose those. I don't know. There is also a full risk disclosure here and a little bit about us as live session traders. Right. Here we go. Stop sharing that. Hey, Tom, how are you?
Good, Brian. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Still a little bit blocked up, but I'm feeling much better after the weekend. Lots of stuff.
That's good.
Yeah. Showers all waterproofed, ready to put tiles on the floor, and then waiting for the panels for the wall. So things are moving along gradually.
It's the best way.
Yeah, and it's pretty wet here.
One step at a time.
That's right. Same as trading, mate. One step at a time.
That's right.
So, can you see my trading view chart?
I can.
Okay, good. So this is CAD-JPY on the last day of the trading of the last week. We don't have any particular crazy news coming up, so I'm not sort of looking. So this is welcome, Helen. So I'm looking at this. I'm going to look at 5 pairs and any other pair that we'll have a look at as well if you want. I'm looking at these pairs in relation to potential for trades coming up in this week. Now, what we tended to do previously is look for, well, we still can and still do, look for the trend move in a larger move direction, tighten up stop loss and get a really good get a good reward out of whatever risks that we wanted to, like, as I said, 1% or less. Now, the changes that are happening in the group as far as indicators are concerned, we still look at that as a long-term move and look at all that, but we could actually get a much tighter or more precise entry, if that makes any sense, or potentially profitable entry into the market, right? So in saying that, and this is for example me on Friday, it went from New York into the Sydney session, hit just before 9 o'clock is around about there, somewhere there. That's when Tokyo opened, it dropped and then pulled back up again, nearly to the entry of when it came into Sydney. That's okay. If, though, you had have got into a trade as it was starting to drop out there, it would have actually been quite a, even this is on a 1 minute chart. So, you know, like seeing that drop there, getting in around about that, so you could wait even for that pullback there, which was just before the 9 o'clock, and you could see what the direction is. I'll just show you. So if you go like, okay, typical, get the pullback, wait for the trade, put on a, say a 10, you could, yeah, let's just say a 10. If you do, which you could, and then ride it sort of down toward until it turns and comes back. It's like a 2.5%. If you were comfortable and you felt, oh, that's going to, you know, you put a 5 pip, you got a 5% return. Now, and this is where if you're following it, and this is, you got to come to the charts to have a look at it, you know. And yes, it did pull back. You would have been stopped out if you had got in there because of that. You would have had to get into a trade there or wait for that pullback to get into that trade for the rest of the move down, because it kept moving all the way down. And we'll look at some other things in a moment. If I put on this straightforward Forex as an indicator, you can see where this consolidation, as it pulled out of there, when it broke structure, you could have quite easily got into the trade anywhere along there, which probably was not sensible because you'd be waiting for a pullback. If you did get a pullback and you had to get into the trade there, that's where I put that sort of reward to risk indicator before. Hi, Ray. Oh, looks like Peter's there too. Welcome. So this is in a really short-term time frame. So this is only on a 1 minute. It did pull back, so you would be taken out of the trade at when it turned. And at any point here, because this is where, when London opened, look at the drop there. So again, it's like, think about it like this: consolidation, drop, pull back, consolidation, drop, and just kept going. This is just a CAD JPY, so don't need to get too. So at this point here, there needed to be a commitment of whether we're going to go into sell or buy direction. I'll just turn that off because it gets a bit noisy on the 1 minute, and we'll have a look at something in a moment. If though we look here, you can see where everything is sitting down the bottom. Even though these smaller time frames pulled up, they were still just the higher time frames, meaning the 30 minute, the 1 hour, the 4 hour, all just kept staying down near the bottom of it, which means it was going to keep selling. The kick up here at the end is that's really the market profiting from this drop for the whole day. Yeah. So when the market opens, what I'm going to be looking for is I'm going to look for this to eventually, this is going, because in the higher time frames, it's in a buy. So this is a sell that it needed to do, and we'll look at higher time frames in a minute. At some point, this is going to create a swing low after it finishes these cycles, joins up with the 4 hour and the hour. Probably the 30 minute will be the indicator when it is down here. And then we're going to get a push back up again, because after a push down like that, there needs to be a push back up for profit. I've said this pretty well a lot of times. So if we go to the 5 minute now, that pushed down past that. So we're going to get that out. I've got market sessions on. I'll take that off because the blue, see the blue dashed lines are for the week. Now, because that high there and we're in an uptrend, the next move, if you want to plan, the next move is highly likely to break this previous high over here. Yeah? You with us?
I'm with you.
Good. So if we go to the 15-minute, let's turn that off. You can see over a couple of weeks here, big push up, up, consolidation. If you look at it from a 15-minute perspective, this is a sell out. Now, how much further it's going to sell? I don't know. It's below the 800. And the 200 traveling down to 62. It's just picking when that, or looking at market structure. What's it going to do? Here it's all created lower highs and lower lows at each point. What's it going to do? It's going to break structure and start creating higher highs and higher lows. Yeah. And that will be when it's turned, and then we'll look at that to potentially come up and break that structure up here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So whether you can, depends on when you get here. If you get chucked out for your 0.5%, 1% or whatever, get back in, because that's potentially the move. We look here, see how you can't necessarily trust the multi-time frame, right? It's just an added bit of information that it, pulled up a bit. You see the 4 hour pulled up a bit when the 1 hour came up, and then it all just dropped back down again. So that's the last day of trading last week. That push down was where that push down created this, which is telling you the market's still in a sell. We have to look at the structure and see when we get a break for it to turn and start to then pull itself back up again. Then it would be good to get in for a longer term trade with a relatively tight stop loss. You can look at a 10 pip, 5 pip, depends on what your broker's requiring, whatever your spread is, time of day, blah, 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 right? There's a whole lot of
all that good stuff.
All the important stuff that's relative to you.
Yeah.
If I, though, and this is something that you can do for a pre, if you look at this straightforward Forex, you can look at it on the 15-minute. I tend to be doing this now. And then swapping around to the 2, 3 minute, 5 minute, 1 minute to look for a tighter entry. You can see this out of the last few days, that push up, that in there, that sell out of there. So every time it pushed up, it came up to that one's the 200. It came off and then went below the 800. And the reason why is because it had been above the 800 for so long. It just came down, broke it, pulled back to 200, and then dropped back out again. So let's just see what happens here. We need to see market structure break. We need to see a break of structure. Depends on how far the jump is, or the gap, or whatever you want to call it, when market opens in another hour and a quarter. I don't think there's been a lot of news to create a large jump. Unless I'm wrong, I haven't been too connected to the news over the weekend. And what is it? Tomorrow's the funeral, Peter?
Tomorrow's the funeral.
Helen?
Monday.
Yeah, your Monday. I don't know how that will affect markets. It may just have it go sideways for a while, particularly in the London session. But we'll see. What I wanted to show you, though, is with this indicator on the 15-minute will give you a lot less entry potentials, right, than what it will on the 1 minute. So we go to the 1 minute, back to the 1 minute, and you see that with it on, there's like so many sells and buys. It's just too noisy as far as I'm concerned, particularly for longer term trading, right? Where if you see these sorts of things, right, that it's a lot easier to see. And it may take out some of these issues of the pullbacks. Does that make sense? So this is where that's the last day trading. Yeah. Remember, I think on the 1 minute, remember there was this drop here and there was a get in entry somewhere here and it pulled back. You probably wouldn't be in that trade unless you're in the trade from the day before with this sell. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So this indicator actually works perfectly on any time frame. It's not just the 1 minute, 2 minute, whatever. You can use it on a 15 for longer term type trade, or you can use it on tighter, on lower time frames and get tighter scalping type trades. Now, if we look at this on the 15, I can pull it back there. There we go. See big push up, consolidation, and again, bankers is not, or actually scalping as well. It's not beneficial in a ranging or in a consolidated state in the market, right? So some of this up here for days, you may have been able to, if you're looking at shorter term or lower time frame, these moves out of here, or this move here, if we pull it up there, this move up has demanded a move down, right, at some point. Now, because we're in an uptrend, this is unlikely to break this low or many lows down here. It's broken lows there, right? You can see that break, pull back, break down there again, right? But this push up here needed this for them, the big players, to profit because of that push. Huh? Just basic. So now at some point here, they're going to either consolidate or jump off and make a buy and break this previous high because the higher time frames are still in a buy trend. So all you got to do is wait for when, and if you miss the first move, it will pull back and then take off again. So don't worry if you miss the first bit. Yeah. I quite like this to jump up and down time frames. So when I see this start to change and we get, and you can see this, when you get a blue, yellow, back blue again, and it's higher than this blue, then that one was there. It could have quite easily taken off. You can see there because the 1 hour and the 30, but that would have been a move over nearly 24 hours, and then that's a move over a day and a half. I want these moves or those moves. I want those. I can be in a trade for a couple of days. As long as I get the entry as precise as I can. And even if I don't, I can, and then organize a second trade if I wanted to. Okay,
You're talking about the big moves up, right?
Yeah, there's going to be a move up. Yeah.
That's what you're looking for, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking for this to move over a couple of days. Well, no, because you can. Okay.
No, I'm talking about on the higher time frames where you were just looking.
Correct. But
that's what you're talking about.
Correct. But what I can do, though, is I can get a tight, let's just turn that off. I can get a tighter entry. This really hasn't broken because it's the end of the week and I'm not going to take a lot of notice of this. It has broken structure for that. but like it needs to break structure up here and go above that 800 and start traveling up. All right, before. This will show me earlier than what the 15-minute will for an entry.
Right.
That's what I'm saying, Tom. But the 15 will give me confidence to stay in the trade longer.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So my analysis is we're going to go from this selling into a buy trend, which means continuation of a buy move over a number of days potentially, and breaks a previous high because it's in an uptrend. All right, these sell ones potentially are short, but the buys potentially longer and quicker, just like it was. If we go back to 15, see that move up there happened over 2 days. All of this happened over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. I want this over 2 days. I want another move up here over a couple of days. And it's more likely that it will occur on my Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I don't know, whatever it is for you. Translate that to whatever the moves, the main moves are in the middle of your trading week.
Right.
So that's it. That's what I'm looking for anyway. And then I can come back and then go like, okay, so it's continuing. I'm going to stay in this trade. Unless there's, something dramatic occurred. So yeah, it's well above that 800 for a period of time. Now it's below the 800. Let's see, it needs to come back and sometime be over the 800 again. Yeah.
Yep.
See how it was below the 800 here for a bit and then off it went. Sure, it came back and touched it there, but hey, it just kept going because it's in an overall uptrend at the higher time frames. So higher time frames have a much greater influence over a continuation of a trend. Oh yeah, so that's CAD-JPY, looking for opportunity, buy out of this or buy into this, whatever you want to call it, when it's ready and we see a breaker structure. Yeah, you get in early, or when you get in later, it's more inclined to pull back and maybe stop you out. So it just depends on when you get the opportunity. And if you do get stopped out, look at the opportunity to get back in again. Okay. Let's go down. Your AUD. Have I explained that anywhere well enough?
Oh yeah, that's good.
Okay, so your AUD. This has been in a, I know that this looks a bit crazy at this point. So see this uptrend here, creating higher highs and higher lows. Your AUD has been in the higher time frame. If we go to 4 hour, it's actually in a downtrend.
Mm-hmm.
No, so that's why I've got red there. So this pull up is just like that pull up, but it never broke the previous high. See how it poked in? Okay. See how it goes over the 800, pull back down, over the 800, pull back down, over the 800. What are we looking for?
Pull back down.
Yeah, potentially a sell out. Okay, so I'm going to come back to 15. This is why looking at higher time frames and back. So when you look at this, you go, oh my gosh, this is against trend. It's been doing it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15 days. Yes, there were pullbacks, right? But primarily, this is a push up. At some point, we're going to see a pullback down again. How much? Don't know. Is it going to be big? Don't know. We just got to wait and see. But there are pullbacks as well as push-ups. And it was really good last week. There was not a lot of consolidation, particularly on the 15th. Right? There was there at the last day of trading. And if we put it, we put it on this indicator, you can see there are some really good moves like that push down there to that push up there. Like just really nice. Color stayed the same, color stayed the same. Then it's gone into this consolidation. And I think there's one of those things that the market sucks you in. It has good move, and then it tends to consolidate. You've got to remember that time-wise, the market does this sideways stuff, depending on the time frame. Yes, on a 1 minute, if you want to scalp, there's some good income there, right? Because you can use really tight stop losses, depending on your broker and blah, 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 right? But the point is, potentially after a move like this and or like this that you're in a trade, you're hyped up ready. It's like, oh, I'll get into another trade. Potentially this will be in consolidation. Yeah. You can see consolidation to a certain extent, push up, push down, push up, and then more consolidation. The market has to do that. It has to do it so that it can consolidate. It can sort of calm things down, ready, collect money, and then take it in the direction it wants to. All right, so on the 15, we've got something, okay. We might even get some more move up. Depends. All right, see that 1 hour coming down, the 15 sitting at the bottom, the 30-minute, Tom's 30-minute indicator. Yeah, it's down there. So it may go down a bit further for the 1 hour to meet or whatever, or the 30 up. Just watch it. It is a bit oversold. So what we want is what?
Pull back up before it drops.
Yeah, okay. Correct. As far as from a sell perspective, but this may continue up. It just depends. Will it break that the 200 and come down? If it breaks the 200, retests and then drops out, it'll come back down to 800. If it does, great. If it doesn't, and it pushes back up, so this is where I would probably, on the 15, I'll put a GAN box in, because I still think that there's, see it poke its head out the top here? See those and that? I don't know. I got this sneaky sort of feeling this is going to break that up. It's going to go up further. But we'll see what happens. If it breaks this, so if it pulls back down, comes up and breaks this high here, or it only matches it, then I've got to see what happens with it. Yep. So just, again, we'll look at this again tomorrow, but we'll get to see what happens. Again, I don't tend to take trades within the first 12 to 24 hours, just purely because the market after the weekend has to sort of show me anyway, what it's wanting to do. Okay. So obviously euro is in a little bit of trouble at the moment. We'll just see. So let's go to euro GBP. Again, euro weakening off. This is a buy trend, so it did do that. So I'd be looking at this potentially. Like, it might even go further up this. What is that from there? Oh, well, that's interesting. Okay. Well, that band is it? Potentially it will, because that's pushed up the top. We might get a sell out of this, but it's opposite the trend. Yeah. It's not likely to break any of these lows. We'll just see. The 800 is there. So it may come back to meet 800 before it goes off. I'll just watch that over the next couple of days. But if it starts to move, if we get a breaker structure down here, it pulls back up, they'll look at a sell. Even though it's against that trend. Because that's what might need to happen this week after a big push up like that. What does it need to do? Pull back down at some point. It may come down to this level here. See where that consolidation is there, which is back down to where the 800 is. That's a typical sort of move. Anybody have other thoughts?
Hi, Brian. I was literally just going to say hi because I've missed saying hello at the beginning.
That's all right, Helen. No worries. Good to see you. So is there, any other thoughts on this? I'm just seeing a big push up.
Yeah, I have mine set up with a fib actually,
Yeah.
and I went from high to low on the on September 20th, 08.
Oh, yeah, you're way back over there. Yeah, yeah. I'm just looking at the previous, last few days.
Yeah, because it's in a down sell.
Yeah.
I think this is just a pullback.
Yeah.
So I'm actually looking for buys. So I'm waiting for this to finish its cycle up.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get another push, at least one.
Yeah.
And it's going to hit it's either going to hit the 619 and bounce or push into the zone. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay. Fair enough.
And I mean, it's pretty close. It's not that far away.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You see, there's still potential for it to move up further.
Yeah, exactly. It's 100 pips to the 619, but
Yeah,
still,
but
that's not really that much
yeah, I know.
in the big scheme of things.
Yeah. Yeah, true. We'll see. I mean, again,
So yeah, I think it's going to pull back at least to the 50.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I'm on the 1 hour. I'm sorry, I was on the 1 hour.
Yeah.
I think it's going to pull back to the 100 at least.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got the 100 on. Where's my 100? There it is. Yeah, down here. Purple one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well,
And then get a further push up.
yeah. Well, but I think it will. Correct. I'm just trying to work out, like, waiting for the swing high to get the pullback, because I still think that will be, after this push up, will be, considerable enough to get some good percentage out of it, and then wait for the turn and the swing low for it to push back up again and break whatever the high is it's got here.
Yep.
All right. Euro GBP. Now look at NZD CAD. There's been a push down, and there was some crazy last week. That pushed down. It then went sideways and pushed back up. So after that push down, it has come back. Now, because in a sell trend, I cannot see this is getting ready. And if you had if you got a fib from there back up, it's in zone and dropping out. All right. Now, this is noise in the middle. If you're down a lower time frame, you might have got buyers or sells, and that's okay. I think we're getting ready for a sellout at some point. Whether you got to work out market structure here. See how it's come over the 800 and then came back, and basically it's just touching it. Yeah, I think it may it may pull back up, or it may just pull up a bit, not even break that, and then just start running back down. Yeah. So it's because after that push up, there's another push down. I think it'll probably break this low. Like with all of that there. Yeah, that dropped off, push back up. It may go further, but it's more likely that this will culminate in a sell out of there. So NCAD pretty well gone. So USD CHF. That did some crazy stuff. Yeah. I'll just get rid of this so you can see. This is on this is on a 15-minute. So again, this is in an uptrend. See that push up, pull back, push back up again. I think we're going to, well, personally, I think we're going to have a pullback down before we get another push back up again. It's still hovering around this zone here. So it just came down to this previous low here, then came back, consolidated all the way across the middle there. So it may push up to that line before we get a push back down. I'd just be looking for that and some time above the 800. It's been a relatively, it was a week or more below the 800 on the 15. Now it's sort of like it's going to spend some time above. I still think a buy in it. Even though these things are sort of sitting at the top, I think it'll still want to push up further. We'll see. Yeah, thoughts? Purely because of this big drop down here. There'll be a push back up, probably to that. What do we got as far as fibs concerned? Yeah, see, up to there or a bit higher. Let's see if it does it. But the point is, no use seeing. It's about, if this doesn't break this low and then it breaks another high, then we look for a buy. Yeah. So what's UJ planting on here? Oh, flattening out a bit. Oh, that's a bit interesting. Right. Gee whiz. That's interesting. Over the last 2 weeks, it hasn't broken that high. Look at that. The reason why I'm looking at this is I'm just waiting for when this US dollar starts to tank, because it's going to tank. Well, I think it's going to tank. Look at it. It's like this has been pushing up, and it did the same here. See what created that swing high and created there, pushed back down again, and then off it went back up again. I've been watching it since down here. What's this, back in May sometime? Actually, I was looking at it way before then. But yeah, I don't know. This is just breaking all these highs. That, though, is ominous, particularly with those like double top there. It's just still down. It's still got energy, though, to go further up. Anyway, that's UJ, just as an overview, that's all. And Bitcoin's sitting here consolidating. It just keeps going. This is as boring as boring.
Now that's sideways.
Yeah. Yeah, on a
Holy
15
cow,
it
look
is.
at that.
Yeah, it really hasn't. If I go in here, I've been just watching this. It's like, it's going to have to do a move at some point. Rian's not on tonight for him. But Rian, there might not be a lot of, let's see what this is saying. Come on. Oh, yeah. But this is just not, there's not a big enough move. They set a break there, and yes, it came down, but it pulled back up and then pulled back up and then down. You'd probably be stopped out at this. What was this? If you got into the trade as it came down here somewhere, I mean, oh no, it's 113. Not too bad. And then dropped out. But still, for me, this is, it's in the doldrums at the moment. Like, particularly if you look there, that's just, you know, it's just bouncing around all over the joint. Nothing substantial. And of course, because you're going to, you know, you've got a spread of about 100, 120 or whatever, plus, you know, you're looking at stop losses of probably about 200 to 300 at least. You know, you're 400 or 500. You got to have that move before you even, you know, are going to break even. So, anyway, all right. Any more questions about the 5 we're looking at?
No,
No,
I don't.
and you can see where this now is coming back down to this high. That's why I'm saying we'll probably get a push back up. See the 1 hour and the 4 hour down the
Coming back to
bottom?
what high?
See, okay.
Oh, the previous. Oh, I see what you're saying.
See where the low is there?
Yeah.
It's basically at the previous high over here. And because this is an uptrend, it's less likely to break some of these. And that's a significant buy trend. It's been doing this. Now, when's it going to push back up? Or will it be like UJ? Will it be like UJ? See how it's also done the same sort of thing, but this is pushed up. Are we at the stage where this is going to start to tank? Like, you've got the CPI thing that happened last week and affected the whole market, and also too, inflation is pushing up, and the Fed's pushing interest rates up, which is forcing the whole world to push interest rates up. It's not going to be a nice time, I don't think, to be honest. I think there's going to be, I think we're already in recession. This is me personally. You know, I know they've got figures that tell you whether they are or not, but I think there is recession, even though people are spending. And whether we get pushed to a depression, it's just interesting how it'll depend on how far the banks. The federal banks push the interest rate up to cause other lenders to push their interest rates up to put burden back on the community. And if people are struggling, then they're going to lose houses, and a whole lot of stuff's going to start happening. All the dominoes will start tumbling. Now, I don't want to be a negative sayer, but that's how I'm sort of seeing things turn at the moment. The stock market did a big crash and then a pullback, and you know, all these things are sort of signs of potentials. Anybody else seeing similar things or not?
I think I'm just waiting and seeing, Brian.
Yeah. Oh, well, no, that's what we can do. That's right. It's like, I don't know. Are you seeing any signs though, I suppose?
I think there are definitely early signs, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's not for necessarily long term, but we're taking trades on a daily or weekly basis. So, and the point I want to make, I suppose, from that is, even if things go difficult, this forex market will still move money around. It just will be a little bit less volume. That's all. And I suppose in a recession or depression, there's no less money in the world. It's just people have less access or things are more expensive. Anyway, okay.
Well, I know they were talking about the price of lumber coming down, which is going to slow resales on property and speed up building.
Yeah.
So goods and overall are starting to come down a little, and they think that's going to shift the entire housing market here.
And is that because interest rates are going up, Tom?
Now, I'm not sure why. I'm really not sure why.
Okay, that's
All
interesting.
All I know is specific products, to be exact, construction products are really coming down. So they think that's going to spur new housing, which is going to slow the resale market.
Yeah.
So people are basically going to panic and start dumping properties.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And that's in the US.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. No worries. All right then. Well, let's see. I'll be on again tomorrow, same time, same channel, that sort of thing. And we'll have a look and see how the market's moved and see if there's any opportunities. If you see an opportunity or you see a move, like, for example, Alistair might, but he's obviously busy or his internet or he's got a leaky roof or whatever.
Just doing his Queen's work.
Oh, yeah. He's getting ready for maybe he's part of the thing because he's in MI5. They've got to run in the crowd or something.
Maybe.
Yeah. Anyway,
if Alistair's really his name.
Yeah, oh, that's right. Yeah. What was that, Helen?
I was going to say, are the markets opening for you tonight, or are they all staying closed for tomorrow?
No, the market will open. Yeah, no, market will
Okay.
open. Yeah, as far as I understand it. I mean, the London market won't open, though, will it?
No, the thing I saw said that a lot of the Commonwealth countries were staying closed as well.
Not any news that I've had. I haven't had any.
It didn't specify. It just said a lot of the Commonwealth countries.
Yeah. Yeah. There may be. It may be. Well, we don't have a bank holiday. Here it's a holiday on Thursday. Our Thursday nationally, and then statewide we have a public holiday on Friday. I don't know. They just call it Football Friday. So it's the Friday before the grand final of the Aussie Rules Football Grand Final. Because it's
day, then.
Sorry,
a big party day then.
Well, yeah, but then apparently on the Monday it's construction RDO or register. Was it a rostered day off on the Monday? So you got all the construction workers. They'll have Thursday off, public holiday, Friday off because it's the football grand final, and then they have Monday off to recover. It's like 5-day weekend.
Nice.
Anyway, yeah, well, I think everybody's, a lot of the businesses are complaining, saying, anyway, we'll just see what happens. All right. Well, look, if you see any opportunity.
This is all new with the Queen passing. We have no idea what's going to happen. Never happened in our lifetime before.
No, correct. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So look, we have our messenger group. If you want to message, I'll tell you if the market opens here. I'm pretty sure the market will open because it does. It just whether there might not be a lot of volume. That might be what happens over the first 24, 48 hours. We might just get consolidation. So get ready for that sort of thing. All right. And then we'll see what happens this week with Paul and group and indicator, and there's a lot to happen. All right, then. Take it easy, everyone. Thanks for being here and any of your input and questions, and I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Brian. Take
No
care.
Thanks,
worries.
Brian. See you tomorrow.
Till next time. Bye.
Bye.